When we talk about Nibelungenlied, a medieval European masterpiece, we step into an era filled with legends. This epic, one of the three great heroic epics of medieval Europe, blends Norse mythology with history. Created around 1198 to 1204 AD in Middle High German, it reflects the diverse social life and the spirit of knights in Germany at that time. The structure of Nibelungenlied is magnificent, with dramatic and intense conflicts, and it presents a series of vivid characters. The work is divided into two main parts: the death of Siegfried and Kriemhild's revenge, each a great adventure in emotion and spirit. In this epic, we meet Siegfried, a hero of extraordinary courage and wisdom. He defeats a dragon, bathes in its blood, and gains skin as hard as horn, making him nearly invulnerable. It's this battle with the dragon that makes him a mighty warrior and the owner of the Nibelungen treasure. However, the story also contains a trace of tragedy. A seemingly insignificant event, a leaf falling on his shoulder, a spot not covered by dragon blood, becomes his fatal weakness. The epic storyline lets us see Siegfried's love and bravery, learning about the beauty of Kriemhild, sister of the Burgundian King Gunther. He goes to propose. However, King Gunther sets a condition. Siegfried must first help him conquer the Saxons and win the hand of the Icelandic Queen Brunhild. Siegfried, disguised as Gunther using a magic cap, defeats the warlike Brunhild, leading to her marriage to Gunther and Siegfried's marriage to Kriemhild. Behind this legend, a seed of tragedy is hidden. A dispute between sisters-in-law reveals Siegfried's secret. It was he, not Gunther, who defeated Brunhild. Feeling humiliated, Brunhild plots a conspiracy, leading to Siegfried's assassination by Gunther's servant Hagen during a hunting trip. After Siegfried's death, Kriemhild moves the Nibelungen treasure to Worms. The epic describes this in grand detail. 12 horse-drawn carriages carrying treasures for 4 days, each driver driving for 9 hours. The treasure, like gold and jewels, is invaluable. Hagen, greedy for the treasure, eventually takes it for himself. Hagen hides the treasure in a cave and sinks it in the Rhine River. Kriemhild, having lost her husband and the treasure, vows revenge. This epic is not purely fictional. It combines historical facts and legends, creating a complex and fascinating narrative. The Burgundians, later known as the Nibelungs, originally lived in Scandinavia, moving to the Rhine region around 200 BC. Between 435 and 437 AD, they fought fiercely with the Huns, leading to their near destruction. The survivors moved to the Geneva region in Switzerland and southeastern France, where they thrived again. The epic also connects to another historical event. In 453 AD, the Hun king Attila marries a Germanic girl, Hildiko, but dies mysteriously on his wedding night. Historians believe Hildiko married Attila for revenge. Over 7 centuries, through the songs and embellishments of many bards, these stories became the epic we know today. However, since the 16th century, the fate of the Burgundians has been unclear. Looking back at history, we see massive changes during the Reformation period. The subsequent Industrial Revolution rapidly modernized traditional society. It's possible that the descendants of the Burgundians became ordinary bank employees or truck drivers, walking the busy streets of Berlin or Hamburg today. Yet, the legend of the Nibelungen treasure continues to captivate people's imagination. Occasional news of treasure discoveries reinforces the belief in its existence, perhaps hidden in a cave in Eastern Europe or buried deep under the Rhine River's mud. In 1837, 2 Romanian quarry workers stumbled upon a treasure buried between 2 large stones. They discovered a pile of gold items, including a disc made of pure gold covered with pearls and gems, golden cups, pots, hairpins, pins, and buckles. The treasure, weighing 75 kilograms, is one of the largest from the medieval European era. However, the workers, unable to discern the value of these items, handed them over to an experienced stonemason, Virius. In return, they received 4,000 piastres, about 500 marks, and some clothing items, a fortune for them. Eventually, someone revealed their secret, and the king's brother pressured Virius to disclose the treasure's location. Only a small portion of the treasure was found. Virius claimed the rest was washed away by the river. Despite being severely damaged, 12 artifacts were salvaged by a special committee. After extensive restoration, they dazzled visitors at the 1867 Paris World Expo, becoming headline news. The artifacts were then returned to the Bucharest Museum for public admiration. But it seems beautiful things often have a troubled fate. Neglected in the museum and poorly guarded, they were stolen by a desperate student in 1875 who planned to sell them to escape poverty. The police launched a citywide hunt and caught the thief at a jeweler's shop, moments before the jewels were to be melted. Following clues, the police found the remaining treasures inside the thief's piano. The treasures then survived a massive fire. Although they were damaged and couldn't be fully restored despite a year's effort by goldsmiths. During World War I, to keep them from the Germans, they were moved to Iasi, but were stolen by the Russians in 1916. It took 40 years for these treasures, after all their trials and tribulations, to finally return to Bucharest. Another discovery that reminded people of the Nibelungen treasure was called the Treasure of Gorazar. In 1858, a farming couple in Spain found treasures under the ruins of old city walls in Gorazar. The most precious items were 9 votive crowns made of pure gold with countless pearls and gems. The largest crown bore the inscription offered by King Rex Heswynth, referring to the Visigothic king who reigned from 650 to 672 AD. The treasure was smuggled to France, but the Spanish, considering themselves true descendants of the Visigoths, demanded its return from the French government, leading to a long dispute. Later, 2 more exquisite crowns were unearthed in Gorazar, one belonging to the abbot Theodosius. A pure gold cross, believed to be the relic of the Archbishop Theodius, was also found. Are these treasures we just mentioned the real Nibelungen treasure? Have they all been unearthed? Or are they just another set of treasures from Germanic chieftains' legends? Fast forward to the 1970s, our story focuses on an amateur archaeologist, Hans Jacobi, a former mayor of Mainz with a doctorate in engineering. Inspired by Schliemann, he embarked on a dream quest with Nibelungenlied. Dr. Jacobi and his son, architect Hans Jorg, lived in Mainz, 50 kilometers north of Worms, the Burgundian capital. This is where the Nibelungen story of love, hatred, and jealousy took place. Dr. Jacobi believed the epic's treasure was real, not just a monk's or minstrel's fiction. He thought that Germanic tribes would bury or throw their king's treasure into rivers when in danger, a common practice. He believed the other treasures found were from different Germanic tribes, like the Ostrogoths and Visigoths, and the real Nibelungen treasure was still in the Rhine River. Dr. Jacobi prepared thoroughly, studying changes in the Rhine riverbed over centuries. He focused on a spot near Gernsheim, where the Rhine makes a nearly 180-degree turn and is especially deep with a strong current and caves formed by erosion. Equipped with modern instruments like detectors, radar, and diving goggles, Dr. Jacobi was confident in his search, with the world eagerly waiting. After all, the world is full of wonders.